We seem to have an issue in the technology industry. Let me explain. A year or so ago, I paid about $100 to attend CornCon. CornCon is a cybersecurity convention. I learned many things at that meeting. One thing they made sure to mention is that they can't find enough people for cybersecurity. I remember one speaker mentioning going so far as to trying to get middle schoolers interested in cybersecurity, people at a young age. Now I see ads on the computer for a type of online college that would teach you about programming. They mention in the ad how they can't find enough programmers, and it gets worse every year. While in one of my college classes, our teacher introduced us to something called Cyber Fast Track. This is yet another way to get people into cybersecurity as fast as possible, apparently with some big companies watching to see what happens. I could probably find more examples, but it sure sounds like we can't find enough programmers, we can't find enough cybersecurity specialists, we can't find enough technical people. The image that forms in my head is a bunch of company leaders standing outside of a college, just waiting for somebody to pop out that they can offer a job to. So where is everyone? Do we just not have enough people here in America? Or do we not have enough people coming out of college? I've worked with many people in all my years of entry-level jobs. Many of them are not there by will, necessarily, but because they need the money. This is not news. I've watched people try to go to college. Most of the time, they end up dropping out because they can't afford to take the time they need in college and away from work. Without living with your parents, it takes a full-time job to live. And going to school full-time is more than equivalent to a full-time job. Even part-time school is almost a full-time job. You can afford to live with a full-time job, or you can be homeless and be in school. Going back to that same metaphor with our companies, waiting outside the college with bated breath. If we were to look at the other side of the college, in this metaphor, where new students are entering, you find a registration desk with a line of people, most of which are being turned away for lack of money or lack of time. For a company, finding someone that already has the skills you want is becoming more and more of a luxury. If something doesn't change, corporations will continue to bang their heads, and service workers will continue to bang theirs. Many heads will be bruised, and nothing will be any better than it was. We are no longer in an America where enough people can afford to go to college to fill enough positions. That seems to be the America that most big corporations are stuck in. If they don't try something different, I imagine people will continue to bang their heads against the wall, for there's plenty of wall to bang your head against. If companies want qualified people, maybe it's time they start making people qualified, instead of trying to find people with the right experience and the right training, who have and spent all the right money to get there. Maybe we should focus on screening for people that have a good work ethic, and then simply train those people for the jobs that we need them to do. There's plenty of good, hard-working people out there stuck in entry-level positions. You just have to find them and train them. Many big corporations have entry-level positions. It would take time, and it would take the company's money, but people could be trained so that they could move up in the company, and the cycle continues. This would help to educate people who can otherwise not afford it, and it would help fill positions that we're having such a hard time filling, not to mention pull people out of poverty.